Hey, I'm Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach. Every week I come into your life, almost every week. I was out on the road last week in Dallas, Texas, but every week I come into your life really to do three things: multiply your life, accelerate, multiply your money, and multiply your business. And I was thinking about show titles today, and I thought, man, I got a great show title. Don't be a little Mitch. How do you create the courage that you need to make big decisions? How do you not major in the minors? How do you not get caught up in the drama of the world, right? Today's show is really around three things. Number one, how not to be a little Mitch, and I'm going to give a definition to what a little Mitch is. Number two, how to create the courage you need to make big decisions. And number three, how not, this may be the most important part of today's show, how not to major in the minors and do big things in the world, because it's going to take a mindset. You got to quit focusing on some of the things you're focusing on. If you're going to do big things, I got to open your mind up to something bigger. Too many people are little Mitches when it comes to their mindset. They're focused on the wrong things. They're majoring in the minors. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, and you're watching Super Coach.
Everybody needs a coach in life. Coaching businesses and entrepreneurs like you to spike an additional 40% to your bottom line. Micheal Burt is a multi-championship coach, best-selling author, trainer, motivator, and all-around super coach. Now, from the Greatness Factory Studios, this is Super Coach.
Welcome back to Super Coach. Every week coming into your life. Let me say hi to folks. Justin Myers, Pete O'Neill. What's up, Pete? Time to hype up the comments, Pete said. Lori Stye. Let me see who else is watching today out there. I appreciate everybody watching the show. It means the world to me. If you're out there watching the show, give us a like, give us a frown, give us something. Just don't be a little Mitch. Okay, now, why would I talk about this topic today? And really, this topic today is I think a good coach is in the business of helping you get somewhere. They're in the business of giving you a structure. They're in the business of adding something to the equation. They're in the business of bringing a tactic, a strategy, an energy, a mindset. They're in the business of bringing you something, right? Well, you can't accept these things if you're being a little Mitch, man. You know, I was watching a new show last night that I strongly recommend that everybody watch. It's called Undercover Billionaire. It's on Discovery Channel. They take a billionaire and they drop him off in the middle of nowhere. He doesn't know where he's going. He's got $100 in his pocket. He cannot use his cell phone. He cannot use any of his contacts. He cannot use any of his brand reputational capital. Like, he can't tell people he's a billionaire. He can't tell people anything. He's got $100 in his pocket. They drop him off in a city for 90 days. And his goal is to reproduce $1 million of revenue in 90 days from nothing. Now, I want you to think about this, folks. Okay? Because I think this is, if you could do this, if you're a top salesperson in the world, or you've created something big in the world, right? We could drop you off in the middle of nowhere. You got $100 cash in your pocket. You cannot use any of your contacts or leverage. You can't tell people how successful you've been. You can't do anything. You can't be a little Mitch. And he's got 90 days. Now, I only watched episode 1 last night, but man, was it powerful. And it got me thinking. One of the biggest things he said last night on that show, Jack, was most people have this backward. Most people create a product and try to go out and sell that product to people, whereas he finds a buyer first and then creates the product. And all my life, I've created products and try to find buyers for that product. He's talking about flip the switch and go find the buyer and then create the product. Now, here's what's important. You can't be a little Mitch, man, when you got $100. And a lot of times I see people being little Mitches, and I'm going to give a definition to a little Mitch. A Mitch is a person that complains. It's a person that is involved in drama constantly. It's a person that focuses on events or other people. They spend all their time talking about events. And I'm going to give you a formula I use on that. Tony Woodall, they focus on events. They create problems versus create solutions. They're constantly victims of something. They always get the short end of the stick. They always are on the wrong end. They always are blaming somebody else. They're always where they are today because somebody else did something to them. These are definitions of little Mitches. They're jealous, they're haters, they're envious, and they're discouragers. Now, when you study the word courage, it means to give courage, like you give confidence. Have courage, like when you encourage a person, you give it. When you discourage, you're taking it away. So if you're thinking out there, you probably got people in your mind right now that say, man, that's a little Mitch. That's a little Mitch. That's a little Mitch. Because what do? They complain. They create drama. They create problem versus solution. They focus on events and other people constantly. I mean, they tear people down. They're jealous. They're haters. They're envious. They're discouragers. They never give courage to anybody. They don't add. They subtract. They're little Mitches. Okay? Daniel Hodges says, we smash little Mitches. Here's the deal. When you think about this concept of being a Mitch, you don't ever want to be one of these people. You always want to add versus subtract. You always want to give versus take. You always want to be an asset versus a liability. You always want to encourage versus discourage. You never want to be seen as one of these people. It makes life hard. Okay? And I teach my 8-year-old daughter, bad attitudes make for hard lives, man. They just make for hard lives. And you can't figure out why you can't get ahead, and you can't figure out why you're broke, and you can't figure out why you don't get a break. Tim Story talked about this last week in Dallas. You can't figure out why you don't get any new opportunity. You can't figure out why nothing lasts a long time. It's because you're being a little Mitch. Now, I told you that I have a formula when I'm assessing a person, because I'll be honest with you, Jack, I'm at the point in my life that I really have very little tolerance for any of these things. I have very little tolerance for jealousy, very little tolerance for haters, very little tolerance for envious, very little tolerance for discouragers. I'm really to the point in my life that I don't want to really spend even 1 second on this. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to marinate in it. I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to be involved in it. And I think this is, when you go pro in life, you are separating yourself. You are leaving all of these these are all amateur things. I'm jealous, I'm a hater, I'm envious, I'm a discourager. You're leaving behind all of these amateur desires, and you're going pro. And you're saying, man, I ain't got time. You very seldom hear a big-time person that's got time to talk about all these things. They don't have time to talk about other people. They don't have time to live in drama. They don't have time to worry about this. They don't have time to worry about that. They're moving at a pace and an intensity and a frequency that they don't have time. So here's my formula, guys. Small-time people get together and talk about other people. If you want to know you're dealing with a little Mitch, what little Mitches do is they spend all of their time bad-mouthing other people for whatever reason. If they're successful, I hate that they're successful. How did they get successful? They don't deserve to be successful. They must have cheated. They must have done this. Like small-time people, we're referring to these, right? A Mitch is a person complains, drama, creates problems, so it focuses on events. The next level up, after the people that talk about other people, are people that talk about events. Well, what's going on this weekend? What happened last weekend? What about this? You're still operating at a low frequency from my perspective if you just talk about events. Now, how do we know we're going pro and we're getting out of this little Mitch area, because we're going to move to courage in segment 2? How do we know we're not a little Mitch? And sometimes we don't even know we're a little Mitch. Okay? Like I got a phone call from a guy last week, man. His attitude was so bad. His tone was so bad. His posture. Attitude is a posture of the body, which represents a mental state. His attitude was so bad. I'm like, man, I don't ever want to have anything to do with that person. Ever. I don't want any money from them. I don't want them to be a customer of mine. I don't want to associate with them. Like, I'm out, man. There's 7 billion people on the planet. Okay? Just one conversation tells you a lot about another person. And so, and if you do your homework and you ask other people, like, oh yeah, that right, like you got to constantly stay in this. So how do you know you're a big time person? Number 3, big time people get together and talk about ideas, brilliant ideas, big ideas, dreaming ideas, global ideas. Okay, Kevin Jones said, powerful. I see times when I've been a little Mitch. That's the first step, awareness. There's been times in my life I've been a little Mitch, where I spend all of my time worried about this, talking about events, worried about other people. right? So listen to the formula. Small-time people talk about other people. Big-time people do not have time to talk about other people, folks. They got their own dreams, their own goals, their own hopes. They're moving. Okay? Small-time people get together and talk about events. What happened last weekend? What happened last week? What's going to happen this week? What's happening, right? Big-time people get together and talk ideas. How do we change something? How do we create something? How do we start something? How do we boom, right? How do we create something big in the world? Like as I'm watching that show, right? Undercover Billionaire, I'm thinking, man, this dude created $1 billion of value. They drop him off in a city. He's got $100. He's got 90 days to produce $1 million. He's going to find buyers for his deal. Man, that is powerful. It got me thinking, what are all the problems I can solve? Okay, how can I help other people? How can I take it global? How can I push it? How can I scale it? Then I'm talking to my buds, Matt Monero and Judge Graham. We're doing this retreat in Vero Beach coming up, right? Jack, pull that up, because then I'm thinking, man, most people, most business owners, D. Hodges, this is good for you, are thinking about scaling something. How do I scale it? How do I take it to 100? How do I take it to bigger? How do I take it to 10 stores? How do I take it to 20 stores? How do I take it to 10,000 people? So I got this Scale with Speed retreat in October with Matt Monero and Judge Graham, man. Just one conversation with those guys gets me thinking bigger. I ain't a little Mitch. They're not little Mitches. They're thinking big, scale, hundreds of millions of dollars, life, freedom. That's what they're thinking, Missy Lytle. They're thinking, I ain't a little Mitch. I ain't got time to talk about other people. I ain't got time to create drama. I ain't got time to be involved in problems. I got time to do one thing, folks. I got time to do one thing, and that one thing is create. 7 billion people on the planet, folks. Some of you are out there worrying about one person or 2 people or 5 people, or you've let that person get you down or that person discourage you. And I would tell you the number of people you could help in a day is so exponentially bigger than those people. See, you spend all of your time just talking about a few people. You're worried about a few people. And one of the things I'm going to make a case in at the end is you need to help so many people that when a few people disappoint you, it don't even bother you. Right? I told my wife, we're going to help so many people in our life that when a few people disappoint us, and they will, and they do, it don't even faze us. It only phases you when you're helping 2 or 3 people, and one of the 3 lets you down. Right? Big-time people get together and talk about ideas. But really big-time people get together and talk about execution of those ideas. You see, I got people that are ideas. They're thinkers. They're dreamers. I always got an idea. I always got a dream. They got very little execution on those dreams. Folks, this ain't no practice life. You got a business you want to grow, you need to be at Scale with Speed. You want to speak, you need to be at my $1 Million Coaching Summit. You want to write a book, you need to come and be around me on writing books, right? You need to level up. And leveling up is what I'm going to talk about in segment 2 and majoring in the minors. We did a health event last week. 1.2 thousand people watched it online, right? And here's the deal. Eric White said, man, I need to level up. Me and my wife are just trying to level up. Level up means I want to leave my amateur desires behind. And we want to go pro. And the way to go pro is ask yourself, how do I get to a higher level? Who do I need to be around? So in segment 2, when we come back, one of my number 1 tactics I use is I tell people, quit majoring in the minors. Don't matter what color it is. It don't matter what people said. It don't matter what your past is. It don't matter, right? It don't matter. Success don't care what you did last week, folks. It cares what you do every day. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. You're watching Super Coach. We come back in segment number 2. We're talking about leveling up, not being little Mitches. Who wants to be a little Mitch? Come on, man. You're never going anywhere being a little Mitch. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about how to major, how to not major in the minors. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, and you're watching Super Coach. Hey, I'm Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach, and I just finished my workout at F45. That's Functional Fitness 45 minutes. It is the greatest workout on the planet. Because let me tell you what you're going to need today. To tackle the world today, you're going to need 3 things. You're going to need courage to take action, courage to make bold moves, courage to go the distance. You're going to need commitment. You're going to need to commit to yourself, to see something through to its logical conclusion. You're going to need confidence. And when I leave here every day, I've got all 3 of those things fighting for me. If you want a real workout,
really burn some calories, really do something big, you need to come down to F45 and work out with me. First week on me.
Welcome back, Super Coach. Monday at the Greatness Factory. Charlie Bice said, we're ready to level up from our recently leveled up level. I like that, Charlie. Come on, Dre. Dre's leveling up. Dre got 16 new members, Jack, in F45 in the last 10 to 12 days. That is leveling up. That is leveling up. Boom. You guys see me working out there at F45, slinging that weight around. I tell you, I struggled through the workout this morning, but guess what? I made it through it. I sure did. I made it through it. So if you're out there, you're watching this today, it's because you want to level up, man. You don't watch Coach Burt to level down. You watch him to level up, right? I want to level up in my life. Today I spent time with some of the biggest people in the world. I've been on the phone. I've been working on a deal. Hey, may have a little surprise for the comeback tour. Can't let it out right now, Jack, but we may be adding another date to the schedule. Out west somewhere. Can't tell you where yet because we're still working on the dates. But congratulations to all the people that come to the comeback tour. Me, Tim Story, Sharon Lecter. Man, there were some incredible people. No little Mitches, Jack. Couldn't find a little Mitch in that group if you tried. These are people doing big things, which means they got no time to complain, create drama, create problems, focus on events and other people. They're big-time people focused on ideas and execution, Justin Myers. Okay? Now, here's the deal. To not be a little Mitch, you're going to need something. Something that seems to be in short supply, Jack. You're going to need courage. You're going to need courage. So I took it upon myself to look up the definition of courage, Jack. Here's what it says. The ability to do something that scares you. That's courage. I was coaching my team today, Timothy, and I was talking about make an offer and make an ask. Would you like to do this? What would stop you from signing up today? What's keeping you from going? Like, you got to get in there and you got to fight for yourself, man. You got to get in there and you got to fight for yourself. Fight for your product or service. You got to believe in yourself. You got to get in there and say to another person, man, no, this is what you need to do. You don't need to think about doing it. You don't need to dream about doing it. You need to do it, folks. You need to take action on it. What you need is courage. Remember, the word encourage means to give. The word discourage means to take away. The people that are in the business of discouraging other people are in the business of taking things away from other people. Now, that's no way to live. There's enough in the world for everybody, folks. So what do you need courage to do? Number one, I'm going to give you 5 areas you need courage. Number one, you need courage to make a decision. The word decide means to kill off. What are you killing off? Fear, insecurity, doubt, past. You need courage to make a decision. There's big decisions I'm making today, man. Big decisions. Every day I'm making big decisions. Greatness factories, F45 gyms, right? Events. I mean, I'm making big decisions every single day. Real estate plays. Imagine waking up and not having any decision to make except I'm just going to do what I did last week. There is no glory in maintaining. There is no personal satisfaction in holding on to what you had last week. Now, a mindset of gratitude is something that Dr. Kevin Elko said. If I woke up today and all I had was what I had yesterday, today would be the best day of my life. I like that as a mindset of gratitude. If I woke up today and all I had was what I had yesterday, today would be the best day of my life because I still woke up. Now, I don't think Dr. Elko would tell us just stay where you're at, though. Just hold on to what you got. Just maintain. I think Dr. Elko would say that there is power in pursuit, that prey drive is activated when you are pursuing something. You are fighting for something. You are pushing towards something. So what you need courage for is you need courage to make a decision. There's big decisions. Everybody on this call, everybody who's watching this, everybody listens to the podcast, there's courage that you need to make a decision. There's all kinds of decisions you need to kill something off that you need to make. There's all kind of decisions. There's all kind of decisions you need to make. You need courage to take action. I'm going to write a book at some point, Jack, called When in Doubt, Take an Action. That's my formula. When you're scared, take an action. When you don't want to move forward, take an action. When you don't know what to do, take an action. Okay? You need to take an action, Pete O'Neill. Okay? Good for you. Pete O'Neill went out and got 4 new clients. Take an action, man. I'm coaching businesses right now. Like, look, take an action. When you're scared, take an action. You need courage to move forward versus stay where you are. Is no glory in hanging on. You need courage to fight versus the odds when people tell you that you can't do it. And why should you do it? Like, you need courage, right? Here's what you really need courage for. You need courage to bet on yourself when other people don't believe in you. You see, there's going to be a lot of people, because in the next segment, I'm going to talk about who you get your advice and counsel from. Many of you want to do big things, but you're getting counsel and advice from people doing small things. You're getting financial advice from people that don't have any money. You're getting business advice from people that have never built a business. You're getting friend advice from people that ain't that good at friends. Okay? So you need the courage to bet on yourself when other people don't believe in you. Because sometimes it ain't a sales problem you have. It's a courage problem. It's a confidence problem. It's an outreach problem. I bet. See, here's what's interesting about this show. I want to come back to this show if you guys are watching this. Imagine if you were dropped off in the middle of nowhere for 90 days and you had $100. Could you reproduce the money? Right? Could you reproduce? And this guy has a goal of producing $1 million in 90 days. Could you do it? Could you, if you're dropped off in the middle of nowhere and you can't use any of your reputational capital and you can't, right? Could you reproduce $1 million? Could you reproduce $100,000? Could you reproduce $10,000? What could you or could not reproduce? How much guts do you have, folks? Let me tell you what you need. You ain't got any time. You ain't got any time to do this. Complain, create drama, create problems, focus on other people, spend time talking and dreaming. You got time for one thing, folks: action. When in doubt, take an action. What you're going to need is a little ambition. Now, let me close this segment with this, then we're going to come back and talk about how not to major in the minors. Okay? Ambition. Here's a definition for ambition. It's a strong desire to do or to achieve something. Everybody has some ambition to do or become something. Life just kind of, as Tim Story says, knocks the shout out of you. So what you do is you say, you know what? I'll just take what I got. I'll just live where I am. I'll just have what I have. I know I got dreams. I know I got ambitions. The word ambition is to desire or to achieve something, typically requiring determination and hard work. Now, nobody said it's going to be easy reaching these ambitions. Right, Phil Griffin? It ain't going to be easy reaching our ambitions. Right? If Phil says, man, I want to be the #1 political consultant in the world, that's his ambition. It ain't going to be easy. Right? Here's the word ambition. Strong desire to achieve something, typically requiring determination and hard work. Right? Some definitions say intense work. To achieve something, intense work. Guess what you can't do? You got to have the guts to make a decision, to take an action, to move forward, to fight versus the odds, the ability to bet on yourself when other people don't believe on you. What you can't do is be that little Mitch. Can't complain, can't create drama, can't create problems. Here's my theory. There's only so much energy and bandwidth you got in a day, Jack. Right now, I'm on Optavia nutrition plan. It's how I lost 30 pounds. You can do that through Monster Health. I'm on Hotze Health and Vitamins to get my energy levels up. Right? I'm working out every morning at F45, greatest workout on the planet. Dealing with people all day long, thousands of people, still requires an enormous amount of energy. Here's what I noticed, Jack. When I'm dealing with high-powered people that want to do big things, it gives me energy. When I'm dealing with what here, right, what we're talking about today, little Mitches, it sucks all of my energy. So I'm at a point in my life where I believe there's enough big-time people in the world that's who we need to be gravitating toward. Away from the Mitches, the little Mitches, and to the big Mitches, to the players, to the highly motivated, to the world shakers, to the big-time players that want to do big things. There's so many in the world, we don't have to settle, folks. Some of you out there, you're around the wrong people. So, Jack, I want to come back and do a third segment. And the third segment, 6 or 7 things you got to do not to major in the minors. We're all playing in the minors at some level, folks. No matter what we're doing, there's somebody doing it bigger. Now, the question is, I want to look right in the camera when I ask you this. Do you want to do it bigger? Do you want to do it bigger than what you're currently doing? Are you satisfied? The number one suppressor of prey drive in the world is satisfaction. Satisfaction is, I'm good. I want to hold on. I want to maintain. I do believe what Elko said. If I woke up today and all I had was what I had yesterday, today'd be the best day of my life. But I guarantee you Dr. Elko wouldn't say just stay there. Don't pursue. Don't push. He wouldn't tell Nick Saban, hey, hold on to them 5 championships you already won. Okay? Hold on to them championships you already won at Alabama. Don't try to get you another one. Right? You got it. Phil, Griffin, I got you, brother. Dre, big-time people work out every day. They look good, and they feel good. That's right. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. I got one more segment. We already got rid of all the Mitches on this show, Jack. They already scooted on out. Now we got big-time people. When I come back, I'm going to give you 7 ways how not to major in the minors. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, and you're watching Super Coach.
Flipped the switch. I didn't know what to expect, but it definitely did what it was supposed to. It flipped that switch.
Coach Burt is the real deal.
It's very impactful. You know, he looks you in your eyes and he makes sure he gets his point across.
When he's making a connection to you, the connection is real.
Love the fact that we were all able to come together, learn from one another.
He exceeded my expectations beyond my wildest dreams.
You know, I think there's a gear inside of people that many people have not found. There's a switch that has not been flipped. I'm writing a new book that's going to come out in 2021, and in the interim, we're putting together boot camps to test the ideas. This weekend was my first Flip the Switch boot camp, and it was incredible. The only thing I know to say, it was absolutely incredible. Think of it as success camp. Think of it as 24 hours with me on what I would teach myself if I was 20 years old again. Everything I've learned in 44 years of living. Incredible boot camp. Thank you to all the people that came. I can't wait to do another one.
Welcome back to Super Coach. When are you going to come work out with me at F45? Greatest workout on the planet. Got in there this morning, me and Mama Burt. It was tough. It was tough. But here's the deal. It goes back to 90% of winning showing up, man. People are too soft in today's world. They start with good intentions, they fall off the wagon, and then they experience guilt. Here's the worst part. Then they blame everybody else. Then they become little Mitches. Blaming, obfuscating. Listen, we are where we are today based on every decision we made up until today. Nobody has put us where we are today except for our own decisions or indecision. Okay, so today's topic is Don't Be a Little Mitch. You can get this download podcast, right? Jack, where can they get it? iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Republic. Okay, you can get this, download, watch it on my YouTube channel. Obviously, today we're talking Don't Be a Little Mitch. And if you just joined the show, we're just having a little bit of fun today. A little Mitch is a person that complains, creates drama, creates problems, focuses on events and other people, never takes responsibility, hates on people, jealous, envious, and discouragers. That's what little Mitches are. Now, who in the world, when they were a kid, dreamt of one day becoming a little Mitch, Jack? Right? Who said, one day when I grow up, man, here's what I'm going to become. I'm going to become jealous of others. I'm going to hate on other people's success. I'm going to be envious. I'm going to discourage folks. I'm going to talk about people. I'm going to spend all my time worrying about other people. Nobody dreams of these things. We dream of doing big-time things in the world. We dream of taking a dream to its conclusion. We dream of becoming people of interest. We dream of becoming champions and world shakers and world game changers. So if this is you today, if you're watching this, and one of our monster producers said, man, there's been times in my life I've been a little Mitch. Me too, man. Me too. Caught up in drama, worried about other people. But let me give you 7 things that you don't need to do if you don't want to major in the minors. I see people, and I'm like, man, it's majoring in the minors. Like, why are we worried about it? Why are we talking about this? Such a waste of time, right? We get together, and you talk about so-and-so. Who cares? They're either in or they're out. Don't matter. We ain't going to talk about it. We're not going to sleep. We're not going to think about it. We are moving forward. We are looking for people that want to move forward. We're looking for game changers, world shakers. So what can you do, Jonathan Taylor? How not to major in the minors? Number 1, you need to quit listening to small-minded people. Now, you could be so embedded in a group of people that are so small-minded that you don't even know that they're small-minded. But you need to quit listening to them because they're not going anywhere. Number 2, you need to understand how to see the bigger play, the bigger picture and the bigger play, right? Like, see the whole board. Not just this opportunity, but the opportunity ahead of you. Like I think about this Scale with Speed retreat down in Vero Beach, Florida with me, Matt Monero, Judge Graham. If you want to scale a business, take 2 or 3 days and come down to Vero Beach. Don't say you're too busy. Too busy being fabulous. You're going to be stuck at $1 million for the next 15 years of your life. You're going to be stuck at 400,000. You're going to be stuck at 200,000. You're going to be stuck making the same amount of money for the next 10 years, folks. Take 3 days, work on the strategy with 3 of the best people in the world. Don't be a little Mitch. Oh, it costs money to go down there. Oh, I don't want to get on a flight. Oh, listen, I just went to Dallas. Next week, I'm going to Jackson Hole, Wyoming somewhere. Then I'm going to Miami. Then I'm going to Phoenix. Like, come on, folks. Let's quit being little Mitches, okay? So understand how to see the bigger picture. Now, Sharon Lecter talked a lot about this, Regina. She talked about the power of association. Napoleon Hill, when he wrote Think and Grow Rich, he went to Andrew Carnegie, and he asked Andrew Carnegie, could he work for him? And Andrew Carnegie said, I'll do you one better. I'm going to introduce you to all of my wealthy friends, and you can interview them, right? Think about this. Interviewing Andrew Carnegie and Rockefeller and all the greats of that time for 20 years and garnering the knowledge and then writing a book about it. Think about how much money he made because of the knowledge he had. Look at his sacrifice, 20 years, man. Don't be a Mitch. Too busy. I love this one. Too busy. I'm too busy. I'm too busy making $40,000. Had a real estate agent last week tell me she was too busy to get coaching because she was doing 1 deal a month. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm like, come on. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I can't even believe I'm like, ma'am, you're not a fit for our program. Good luck. She's like, well, I really like your videos. I'm like, I don't care if you like them or not because I can't help you. I don't care if you watch 4,000 of my videos. With that mindset, boom, you ain't going nowhere, girl. You doing 1 deal and you think you're busy? Come on. That's being a little Mitch, okay? We got to think bigger than that, okay? The power of association is where the concept of leveling up is. Okay? You're majoring in the minors when you're leveling down. You're hanging around people that's going nowhere. They're doing 1 deal and they think they're busy. You need to get away from those people. I'm going to go back to something Tom Love said. Creator of explanation of service. You're looking for the 16% of people who want in, who want to be part of something, who want to be involved in something. They're the early adopters or the innovators. You're not looking for early majority or late majority, or you're definitely not looking for laggards. You're looking for people that said, I want to go to the top of the mountain. So you could say, you don't want to go? Step over there. You're going to be a little Mitch? Step over there. Who's in? I'm in. Boom, let's go. And let me finish it up with this. You got to change the way you see problems, folks. If you're going to do something big in the world, you got to have King David's mindset you hear me talking about. It's going to be a fight, but we're going to win. We're just going to keep this train moving. We're going to keep this train going. We're going to keep this train in the right direction. It's going to be a fight, but we're going to win. People are going to come. People are going to go. People are going to join. People are going to leave. Going. Boom. We just keep going. We chop wood. We carry water. We show up every day. We show up every day. We don't stop. We don't slow down. We don't listen to little Mitches. We don't get involved in drama. We don't care. We just keep going. Where? Toward our prize. Okay? That's what we're doing. And finally, we got to help so many people that it don't disappoint us. That's something I said earlier in the show. If you get disappointed a lot by other people, that really tells me you're not a big-time person yet, because I was never disappointed when I was only helping just a few people. When I had 6 people in Monster Producer, I never saw the ugly side of people because they all cared about me. They all supported me. They all believed in me. I only saw the ugly side of people, Jack, when I started helping thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands of people. And that's when you start seeing that side of people, complaining, whining. And listen, when people complain to my staff about something, when I get on the phone with them, they never complain to me. Now, question is why? Why do they not complain to me when they complain to other people? Okay? And now, tomorrow night, I'm doing a webinar called Person of Interest. I don't even know if I can get you in. I'm only taking 100 people. I think maybe 150's registered already. Only probably 80 will show up because there'll be some Mitches. But if you want to get in the webinar, Eric White can post it in there. I may be able to post it in here right now while we're talking, Jack. I know how to post it in here. This is a webinar I'm doing tomorrow at 5 p.m. Let's see if I can post it in here. Oh, I didn't mean to start it. I didn't mean to start the webinar right in the middle of the deal, man. I want to end the webinar. Okay, end meeting. I meant to grab, what I was trying to do is grab show meeting invitation. That's what I was looking for. Here's what I'm trying to do. This is person of interest. And what I'm going to do tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, if you want to get on this, if you want to register for this webinar tomorrow night, Jack, I'm going to see if I can get back in there. I didn't mean to start the webinar because that's going to be tomorrow night. If you folks want to get in there, boom, register yourself. Person of interest. Okay. Yeah, I hope I did that right, Jack. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. If you want to get in that, I don't even know. I don't think that's it. Let's see if I can go back here, folks. What I'm looking for, Jack, as I'm looking for this, is I'm looking for meetings. Should typically lets me invite. See that? Copy invitation. Maybe it's already sold out for tomorrow night. I bet that's what's happened. Probably can't get in, folks. But anyway, I'm doing person of interest, and you're already in there. Get on in there and let's go. Now let's close this thing out, Jack. Here's a couple things. If you're saying to me, I want to level up, boom. I want to get in a room, boom. I want to get better. It's time for me to level up. You need to get a monster producer. Okay? You need to get in monster producer, and you need to let me coach you for a year. You need to let me level you up, man. Imagine getting this kind of coaching every single week, pushing and growing and dynamic and a network and events you can come to, and boom, and boom, and boom, and boom. It's reactivation of prey drive, man. It is reactivation of prey drive, and that's what we need. So, close it out. Guys, I'm Coach Micheal Burt. I believe everybody needs a coach in life. Here's what I would tell you. Don't be a little Mitch. Think big, play big, get around big-time people, and let's go do it at the absolute highest levels. Everybody needs a coach in life. Reach out to me, coach@coachburt.com. If you want to talk about monster, if you want to talk about dynamic, okay, there ain't no power in holding on to what you got, folks. Let's have an incredible week.
I'm Coach Micheal Burt, and one thing I know for sure, for coaching for 28 years, at some point in your life, you got to make a decision to go pro, to leave your amateur desires behind and go pro. Number one, in the body, to get your confidence right, to get your courage right, to get your commitment right. See, to do big things in the world, you got to leave being an amateur, and that's what F45 is about. It's leaving your amateur desires behind and going pro. I've worked out in gyms for years and never got in the shape I am today. At 44 years old, F45, functional fitness, 45 minutes, I promise you, it is the greatest workout on the planet.